From Beyond the Veil.
From the fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm sitting here playing with Cherie's pussy right now. Bastet Kitty is in my lap.
Baby.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be across the nation, around the world. I'm Chris Gio. This is the Bastet Kitty, and of course, I'm joined by my lovely wife and co-pilot, Mrs. Gio.
Good evening, everyone.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. We're back to our usual time. Remember, this is when we used to do shows way back in the day, like 9 p.m. to like midnight.
That's true. Now we do them whenever the hell we want.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of content over at our Patreon, patreon.com/BTV Tribe. We also have some content that is not on our Patreon that needs to go on our Patreon over at youtube.com/Beyond the Veil. We did 2 off-the-cuff videos last night. So for you Patreons out there, check them out on YouTube. But I will be moving them over to Patreon in the full, nice quality like we have it at the Patreon, which is completely different than the YouTube quality. Just a little better presentation for everybody.
Yeah.
But anyways, Bastet decided that it's cuddle time, so we're going to have to go to a quick break. We're going to have to take care of this situation going on here.
Because this is an emergency.
This is an emergency, and the little goddesses rule the house. No.
No, she has been ill lately, which has prompted us to treat her a little bit more like a baby. I've been carrying her around like a baby a lot more lately, so that's probably what's prompted this. So, but Ken, I am so sorry to hear that you guys have been without internet for the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks so far without internet. I guess they're just using phone service to get online and things like that. So that's very disheartening to hear, and I'm very sorry you're going through that. So
where are they located?
Australia.
Okay, that's Ken the Rotman.
Again with Australia. You know,
so
not only are they locked in their
things
home,
going on in Australia.
Not only are they locked in their homes,
being played.
Now they don't have internet.
That is that's disturbing because we've seen this happen all over the place, and we've seen how when something goes down, they cut the internet off. What happened to Cuba? Remember?
Yeah.
Everybody was all talking Cuba.
Exactly.
And all the socialists over here were like, hey, we want socialism, but keep those socialists away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And those socialists were like, hey, keep socialism away from us. We want to come over here to the United States. That's neither here nor there, though. But so they cut off the internet over there, so you can't see what's going on. They're doing that systematically here. Things are getting bad. However, tonight, I wanted to just entertain you all for a little bit. We did a show many years ago, and I can't even find the archive. It's probably at tfrlive.com/Beyond the Veil. We have a lot of awesome shows there if you haven't checked those out. A lot of interviews with everybody from Stephen Greer to David Icke to Michael Tessarian to, anybody who was on Coast to Coast used to come on the show until we decided to just be the show ourselves with our tribe. And that's what's most important in my opinion. But we did a show about these weird, creepy phone numbers and these number stations. And somebody posted this phone number, 1-800-666 QBIT with a Q, 1-800-666 QBIT, and that's what kind of prompted all of this. Now I've got several other creepy phone numbers to call. I was on the phone with Lucky earlier, and I got her to call it. Now I don't know if you want to call it out there, ladies and gentlemen. It's totally up to you. You know, a lot of these phone numbers, they're tracked, they're traced, all kinds of stuff like that. We don't care. We don't care here at Beyond the Veil, but some of you out there might. So you want to be cautious, in my opinion, if you call these numbers. Like, for instance, this one right here. This one is 951-572-2602. And let's go ahead and shoot this up here in Skype, and I will loop you into my screen, too, so you can see what is going on. Actually, it doesn't allow me to call this number from Skype.
Do you need my phone, or
Nope,
do you have yours?
I have mine right here.
Okay.
My phone illuminates the personally autographed photo that we got from this man behind us here during every show. But I'll go ahead and call this number just so you can kind of see. And I'm going to call it from my real phone. We're going to get to the 800-666 QBIT here in just a little bit. But I just want to show you, we really don't care here on Beyond the Veil. Actually, we want them to come and find us because we're ready for them and we're ready for whatever they have to bring.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to dial, I don't know how well you can see that on the screen, 951-572-2602.
All right.
You have reached the SCP Foundation, Southern California. Please leave a message including date and time.
Cut out. I'm going to dial it again. Oh, now it's busy. Oh, that's weird. My phone is bugging out. Okay.
You have reached the SCP Foundation, Southern California, Division 19. Please leave a message including date and time of incident, location of incident, and a description of the incident itself. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to report an incident in, where's Lucky located?
Tennessee.
In Tennessee. What city?
Cleveland.
In Cleveland, Tennessee. There are zombies walking around right now, and they're all wearing masks, and they're walking around like sheep. So please get back to us as soon as possible. Thank you. That's one creepy phone number called the SPC incident reporting line. There's a couple of other creepy numbers here too. This one right here is another creepy one. 408-634-2806. And let me get this up here on Skype, and we'll give them a call. I think this one works on Skype, so here I will loop you into my screen here. So 408-634-2806. Let's hear what this one's all about.
All's well that ends well. See you in heaven. High five.
What do you think about that?
What was that about?
That is supposedly a Red Room phone number. Yeah.
And so supposedly if you put in like the right number code, it'll transfer you to the Red Room.
Well, not only that, but supposedly that if you call that number, that's how they find their victims. And they come and find you.
You didn't call that using your phone, did you? Chris, don't actually do it. Oh my God. Chris. 408-634-2806. You're insane.
All's well that ends well. See you in heaven. High five.
What do you think about that?
That's bizarre. That is really bizarre.
Very strange numbers indeed. Strange numbers. We're going to get at 800-666-QBIT here in just a moment, but I've got another one for you here. This one, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to know from you guys and gals what you think of this. All right, I'm going to try to put it up on the screen because I think this one will call from Skype. Skype has a lot of these blocked off, so I think it's because Skype isn't traceable.
Oh, thank you, White Dove.
So that's why they block them from Skype, because they want to be able to trace their victims.
Yeah, the voice did say, all's well that ends well.
All's well that ends well. All right.
Fishing in a mountain stream is my idea of a good time.
Fishing in a mountain
After
stream.
the dance, they went straight home. The hostess taught the new maid to serve.
Adding fast leads to wrong sums. The show was a flop from the very start.
There was water in the cellar after the heavy rain. They're not listed in the new phone book.
A large size in stockings is hard to sell. The juice of lemons makes fine punch.
Smoke poured out of every crack. Serve the hot rum to the tired heroes.
Those words were the cue for the actor to leave. A yacht slid around the point into the bay.
The place seems dull and quite stupid. Thieves who rob friends deserve jail.
The frosty air passed through the coat. The crooked maze failed to fool the mouse.
He wrote the last novel there at the inn. Even the worst will beat his low score.
A saw is a tool used for making boards. The wagon moved on well-oiled wheels.
Try to have the court decide the case. They are pushed back each time they attack.
The box was thrown beside the parked truck.
I think this is
The
some
hogs were
NK
fed
Ultra
chopped
stuff.
corn and garbage.
And it's designed
Much
to, like,
of the story makes good
program
sense.
people.
The sun came up to light the eastern sky.
The two met while playing on the sand. The ink stain dried on the finished page.
The ripe taste of cheese improves with age. Act on these orders with great speed.
Act on
Adding
these orders
fast
with
leads
great
to wrong
speed.
sums. The show was a flop from the very start.
The cement had dried when he moved it. The loss of the second ship was hard to take.
March the soldiers past the next hill. A cup of sugar makes sweet fudge.
He broke his ties with groups of former friends. They floated on the raft to sun their white backs.
These days, a chicken leg is a rare dish. Rice is often served in round bowls.
The desk was firm on the shaky floor. It takes heat to bring out the odor.
The walled town was seized without a fight. The lease ran out in 16 weeks.
The purple tie was 10 years old. Men think and plan and sometimes act.
A saw is a tool used for making boards. The wagon moved on well-oiled wheels.
Torn scraps littered the stone floor. Sunday is the best part of the week.
Cars and buses stalled in snowdrifts. The set of china hit the floor with a crash.
The map had an X that meant nothing. Whitings are small fish caught in nets.
The boy was there when the sun rose. A rod is used to catch pink salmon.
Beef is scarcer than some lamb. Raise the sail and steer the ship northward.
A tame squirrel makes a nice pet. The horn of the car woke the sleeping cop.
They slice the sausage thin with a knife.
Me too, Buddha.
The bloom of the rose lasts a few days.
What do you think?
March the soldiers past the next hill.
It makes me feel like a little bit
cup of sugar makes sweet
nutty,
fudge.
just because.
Acid burns holes in wool cloth.
What if somebody was saying this stuff
Now
to
we
you?
need to buy a copy of Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Somebody said that. I
Yeah.
think that's when you need it. Antonio wants a big back.
Vote Biden.
Must vote Biden. Must wear a mask.
Must get
A vacation.
No, what?
Vacation. Vacation.
Vacation.
Vacation.
I didn't say it.
All right. All right. Here's another one here. 978. Actually, I can put it on the screen here.
Desiree. Suddenly I feel the need to wear a mask.
Suddenly I feel the need to wear a mask.
Well, that's probably just because
the grass is greener.
And the grass is greener. China breaks when you drop it. I mean, it's like, what if somebody was saying these things to you just in real life? They just come up to you randomly and say, China breaks when you drop it.
Sounds like
You're
an
just like, what
like
the
an
hell?
acid trip, huh?
It sounds like either someone on an acid trip or, trigger. It sounds like trigger codes to me.
It does sound like trigger codes, huh? We're going to get
Especially
to 866.
act on these orders with great haste.
800-666-QBIT here in just a moment. Joker smiles, brother.
Joker.
You're always sending a lot of love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much love to you.
Sending love to both of you. I just want to let you know.
Aww. We love you.
I really
too.
want to meet that guy someday.
Me too.
Yeah. If you're ever in Vegas, man, definitely let us know.
Hit us up.
All right. Oh, wait. I forgot to tell you which one this is. All right. So we're calling this one here, which is... All right, new call. 978-435-0163.
That's a guy they've left to drown. Do you know what this reminds me of? I'll tell you in a minute.
Please give us a call back at 612-398-0600. Thank you very much.
Oh, maybe they'll call you back.
I know.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I'm watching the call board.
Yeah. Oh, you better be. Yeah.
We're calling creepy numbers. Ash is in the house. Hello,
cool.
We are calling creepy numbers this evening, and we have 800-666-QBIT with a Q. I think you're going to be very interested in this one. We're going to get to that here in just a few moments. But shall we proceed with more on the list? Or did you want to comment on any of these that we've heard so far?
Do you know what that last one sounded like? It sounded like the death of...
South GA Stacker, thank you for the love. Keep up the amazing work.
Oh, thank you, South.
Thank you. We've been trying to do the balancing act of, speak the truth, also be entertaining, also lighten up the mood a little bit like we are tonight. But when we get to 800-666-QBIT, you're going to be shocked at what you hear.
So, do you know what that sounded like? You keep interrupting me and then it throws me off. So, that last one sounded like Elisa Lam, the same way Elisa Lam died.
It did, didn't it?
Fill
people into Elisa Lam.
So Elisa Lam is allegedly a girl that just disappeared into thin air back in 2011. I think it was either 2011 or 2013. And she was last seen in an elevator, getting on an elevator and acting like she was on some kind of hallucinogenic drug or some kind of psychedelic that's maybe someone had slipped her. She was traveling alone. She should not have been traveling alone, especially through Skid Row. She was staying on Skid Row because she was lured there actually by the fact that the hotel, which has had many deaths, almost every single room in this hotel has had a death in it. It is that haunted. It is that evil. This is not a good place for a 19 or 20-year-old girl to be staying in. And she was found 10 days after she disappeared.
Where's that coming from?
Are you playing that?
Oh.
No. She was found 10 days after she...
on Skype.
Nuh-uh.
Continue, please. Don't let this interrupt you.
Okay, so 10 days after she disappeared, she was finally found in the water cooler on the roof. And this was also 10 days after the police. I'm not going to talk on this thing. It knows where I am now.
612-398-0600. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Okay.
All right, so they find her body in the water cooler, but this was just after the police had just walked around there with dogs and everything, and they never thought to look in the water cooler, in the water tank.
Now, this was at the hotel.
It's called Hotel Cecil.
Cecil Hotel,
Cecil
that's right.
Hotel.
Okay.
The Cecil Hotel has had so many deaths that it's...
Okay, and then hold on. We're at an important part here, see?
Okay.
She's talking to somebody here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nobody there.
There's nobody there.
And she's seen going through many places throughout that hotel. Sheree and I were actually talking about doing an Aya experience there to close down a dark portal. Now, this was kind of like a side quest, like if you're playing World of Warcraft, and you go off on the, just to like level up at the side quest and go kill like this little demon that might give you a power up or something like that after you kill him. But after I looked at the hotel, I was like, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, no.
I'm not touching that.
What I suspect happened is there's a lot of involvement with authorities on this one. There's a lot of involvement with pizza-related types. There's a lot of involvement with those kinds of people. And
this is the prime spot, because the reason that I don't want to go do something here is because this is a hotel that was basically like a slumlord kind of hotel. It's not a nice hotel. There aren't even any nice rooms. They try to separate the two into two different hotels.
Stay on Main.
But Stay on Main and then the Cecil. The problem is that California passed these laws, and there were people that were staying there for years and years and years and years, and they couldn't evict them. So because they couldn't evict them, they couldn't update the premises, and it was a bunch of heroin addicts and all kinds of things like that. There was a Netflix series that came out about this hotel, and there was a lot of really revealing information in it. And people are talking about that movie, too, that we watched. I don't know if you remember Dark Water. So if we can touch on Dark Water here in just a second. But in that Netflix documentary, they were talking about how the investigator, or the manager herself, she said, when I first started working here, I realized that somebody had died in every one of these rooms. And the manager had this really sinister look to her, like she was in on it. And this is the perfect place to lure people in for pizza-related stuff. And it doesn't even have to be children. It can be just anybody. Now, there were a few scenes that they showed in the documentary, and because we're going totally off the cuff here, I can't pull up the pictures. But you can see on the water cooler, I will see you next Tuesday, my
good little slave.
My good little servant.
My good little servant.
Or good little slave or something like that. Spray painted on the water cooler. Now, or not on the water cooler, but something right next to the water cooler. They never focus in on this during the documentary. They just pass this up. But it's right there, graffitied. I'll see you next Tuesday, my good little slave or my good little servant. And something happened on the week of the Elisa Lam thing. Do you remember Chris?
Chris Dorner.
Chris Dorner. He was supposedly a rogue LA police officer, and he went on a supposed shooting rampage against the LAPD. That happened right down the street from the Cecil. So while they were looking for Elisa Lam, all of a sudden the focus shifted to Chris Dorner. Yep. And we were focusing on Chris Dorner at the time. We didn't know anything about Elisa Lam.
Yeah.
However, they found her body.
They almost found her.
The next Tuesday.
They found her body. I think what happened was, and this is a very sad story, she had gone off her medication for bipolar disorder. And once you're on that stuff, you can't just go off of it. You can't just stop taking it. Otherwise, it'll make you it'll make you think very scary thoughts and even hurt yourself. I mean, it's just really not a good idea to stop that suddenly. She did that, then that destabilized her. Then on top of that, she started meeting people at the Cecil. There are a lot of missing tapes where she should be on the elevator, or she should be walking around in the lobby, or she should be, she seems to have been disappeared from all the tapes except for this one.
Okay, so I have a little treat for you guys and gals. This was May 3rd, 2018. How can that be May 3rd, 2018? She must have uploaded this May 3rd, 2018, because this is when we were in Egypt.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. We were in Egypt on May 3rd, 2018. She must have uploaded this later. No? This looks like, she must have uploaded this later.
Yeah.
But Emily Moyer and I and Cherie met right around this time. William Whitecrow, the shaman that had married us, passed away.
Yeah.
So we went to Mount Shasta for his funeral. And when we did, we stopped in LA and we met with Emily Moyer. Then, consequently, I just kind of like, got it, last minute, hey, let's take Cherie to Mexico because she loves cheese enchiladas. Like, that's all we freaking used to eat is cheese enchiladas. And I wanted to show her some real cheese enchiladas. And I was like, oh, crap, I don't have a passport. And they're not doing the driver's license thing anymore.
Yeah.
They require the real ID to get through. And I walk into the passport office, and they give me a passport with just my driver's license in 2 hours. I was amazed. So we wound up going down to Mexico, spending a couple days there, then go home, drink some ayahuasca, boom, we're in Egypt within a couple of weeks. Like that ayahuasca experience, I was like, it's time to go to Egypt. Everything's already laid out. I got a passport in 2 hours. What are the chances that I'm going to get a passport in 2 hours? It's go time. It's go time. But anyways, this is Emily Moyer, myself, and Cherie. And I want to say this was in March. I don't think this was May. I know for a fact it was in May because we were in Egypt in May. But we're walking down right by the Cecil Hotel. Now, at the time, I didn't understand the significance. Emily was just taking us down for a tour around LA and walking us down one of the most dangerous places in LA, which is Skid Row, which is where the Cecil Hotel exists. It was very interesting how this is all kind of connecting now. And now we're thinking maybe there's a dark portal that needs to be shut down there. So it's funny how things come full circle. But check this out. I'll play a little bit of this for you. And we'll get to the creepy numbers here. We'll get to 800-666 QBIT here in just a few moments.
While we're at it, oh, look at that.
So, I moved out, so there was this tuberculosis outbreak, and my friend was telling me about it. He was like, yeah, we all have to get tuberculosis tests.
Look, the matrix is breaking down.
Yeah, because there was something funny with there's a tuberculosis outbreak down here, and there's something funny with the water. And I was like, well, I'm glad I just fucking got out of here in time. So, she told me that story.
You okay, sweetie?
Uh-huh.
All right.
And then that same week...
And this was also consequently the day that my brand new leather jacket was ruined. Because I gave it to Mrs. Gio because it was raining.
We get the story of this girl named Elisa Lam who came here to Los Angeles on vacation and went missing. And when the people who were staying at the hotel she was staying at, they started talking about that the water smelled funny and the water tasted funny, it tasted sweet. So they went up and looked at the hot water heater on top of the hotel, and they found this girl, Elisa Lam.
Oh, I remember that. In the fucking hot water heater.
So
and nobody knows how that happened.
Nobody knows how she got it, but you can watch videotapes of her in the elevator at the hotel. We're walking up to this hotel right now.
This is the hotel?
The Hotel Cecil.
Oh, shit.
Right? So she's in there, and nobody knows how she got there, but you can see, you guys can still go and look on YouTube and see videos of Elisa Lam in the elevator, and she's clearly responding to something that doesn't appear to be there. She clearly thinks there's something. It's actually terrifying to watch.
Yeah, it is.
And
I tried to analyze that video.
So she is, so she was in the hot water heater.
This is the hotel?
This is the hotel. It's now called Stay on Main. If you look at the Cecil. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Right here. So the Cecil Hotel, and this is what's weird about it. About a year before, my friend James Martinez had asked me to hear Hotel Cecil right here. Okay?
Oh, wow.
When I told him where I lived, he's like, do you live in the French Hotel? And I didn't know what he was talking about.
Should we go in?
We can.
Oh, is it closed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's closed.
Oh, they closed it off on top of that. That's even creepier.
So, right?
Notice the filming.
It stayed open for a long time after that.
Oh, they're going to film a TV drama.
Yeah. They film shit right.
Oh, that must have been when they filmed the documentary.
But some of you,
that was when they
maybe
filmed the
some of you
documentary.
listen are familiar with James Martinez. He used to have a great show called Cash Flow that was sort of about money, but really not, really about other stuff. But he told me, he's like, do you live in the French Hotel? And I was like, I don't think so. I was like, I guess the building I live in could have some French elements, but no, I lived over there. But he was concerned that I lived here because what he told me, and this was a year before this happened, he said that place is the center of everything. So the girl who died, who was in the hot water heater, her name is Elisa Lam. When that happened, it created a tuberculosis outbreak, or I don't know if it created it, but it was at the same exact time.
Oh, wow.
And the test for tuberculosis is called Lam Elisa.
Oh, that's creepy. Yeah. The TB test is called Lam Elisa.
Lam Elisa.
Not only that, but she's a sacrificial lamb.
Right. There's a lot of symbolism
that's weird.
Right?
going on with
So
this.
what is going on here? But when I heard about this, look, I was equally relieved and terrified because there's something magnetic about this hotel. That
Well, I felt it as soon as we walked up. I felt this energy.
When I lived here, because I used to go to this restaurant here. We can walk down here. It's now
like a
closed.
jaggedy-
This restaurant and market I used to go to down here. I used to always want to walk by this, but not because I liked it, but like you can't help but think there's a weird energy here, right? And so that was like, James somehow knew something about this hotel. And when she died, I was like, remember I told you that when I moved away, I felt like I was getting away from something? Like there's a part of me that feels like if I hadn't moved away and I did, I might have been the one. Not her. I don't know if I can't say that for sure or whatever, but I was running away from something when I left here. And then when that happened, I was like, woo! I escaped it. I escaped it. But what I found out afterwards is that Aleister Crowley used to live in that hotel.
Oh.
Richard Ramirez lived in that hotel when he was fucking doing his Night Stalker killing stuff.
No
right?
shit.
Oh my God.
And that hotel, people have been since the beginning, like for the past 100 years, committing suicide in that hotel. So there's something there. There's something there's something there that is, according to what James told me when he thought I was living in a French hotel, some kind of vortex that is causing all of the problems here in this realm.
Right.
Is there.
Coming from that hotel.
Coming from that hotel.
Well, you know what's funny
Not
is
in this
that
area, in this
that's
realm,
what
baby. Did you hear that?
Ghostbusters was based on. It was all coming from
all the problems in this realm, not in this area, not in LA, but in this realm, come from there.
Is that what she said?
That's what she said.
Like, woo! I escaped it. I escaped it. But what I found out afterwards is that Aleister Crowley used to live in that hotel.
Oh.
Richard Ramirez lived in that hotel when he was fucking doing his Night Stalker killing stuff.
No
right?
shit.
Oh my God.
And that hotel, people have been since the beginning, for the past 100 years, committing suicide in that hotel. So there's something there. There's something there's something there that is, according to what James told me when he thought I was living in a French hotel, some kind of vortex that is causing all of the problems here in this realm.
Right.
Is there.
Coming from that hotel.
Coming from that hotel.
Well, you know what's funny is that that's what Ghostbusters was based on. It was all coming from that one in New York from that one hotel building.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a hotel; it was a condo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I got away from here,
those are condos.
I felt like I had escaped something, and then this happened afterwards. The other thing that's weird about this hotel is there's been movies made about this hotel before that happened, and the exact thing that happened in those movies. There's a Japanese movie called Dark Water, and there's
Yeah, I
another
watched Dark
French
Water. It's
movie
really messed up,
from
you
a long
guys.
time ago called.
Don't watch it. All this is giving me
There's a
chills.
big there's a big trucks pull into there, like stuff like that. But it looks like it's been here a long time. They could be warning of a different kind of danger, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So there's shit like this all over downtown.
That's where it begins.
So, like, I kind of felt like, so there's a Japanese movie called Dark Waters that is about the exact same thing, a person going to the Hotel Cecil and dying in the same way she did. And then there was a French movie many, many years ago called...
Get in front of me.
That was also about that. And the movie in French was called Mal Sali.
You hear that? Get in front of me. You know, just for you guys out there. That's what you do. Creepy guy comes in to the scene. Get in front of me.
Get in front of me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What happened today at the crystal store?
There was a lady walking out of the crystal store, and she had a box full of heavy crystals, and she was taking them to her car, and she was about to come back and get another box and take them to her car. And this creepy, I don't know who he was. He looked homeless. He looked like he was high on something. And he approached her and very vigorously asked her for money. And before he could even edge in on her, Chris said, "Ma'am, can I help you out to your car with that?" And she's like, oh, yes, please, would you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he walked her out to the car. In fact, actually, first he said, come on, ma'am, why don't I get you back inside? And she's like, okay. And the guy had to basically be told to get the hell away from the store because he was going to harass that lady, and you saved her. Because I do think that guy had more on his mind than just money, because there was something about the way that guy walked up to her that it just really bothered me. It really made me feel like he was going to do something else.
And she was creeped out because she didn't even want to go to her car because she was afraid that the guy would identify her car.
Right.
So I walked her back in, and I'm just saying, guys out there, protect the ladies. And that's something that has been bred out of the younger generation. And it's something that no matter what, it doesn't matter if it's a stranger or somebody that is your friend, always protect the ladies, always watch your back, because they're not watching your back because they're doing their girl thing, you know?
Yep, exactly.
We have to be the protectors. I'm just highlighting that. So
yeah.
Get in front of me.
That was also about that. And the movie in French was called Mal Sali. And if you rearrange the letters in Mal Sali, it says Evil Asylum.
Oh, interesting.
Elisa Lam.
So this is the market that I used to come here. There's a market that had like great food and all the candy that I was addicted to, but also gourmet food and cocktails here. And I used to come here, and whenever I was out here, I couldn't help it. I wanted to walk over there.
To that hotel.
Yeah, and a lot of people who used to come here from out of town to go to parties, to go to raves, they would stay there because it was inexpensive. So a lot of people who were also going to parties were staying in that hotel. So anyway, so that was here. There's also like a really cool restaurant and bar down there that I used to...
Okay, so the rest of it is just a little bit of a tour. You can find this over on Emily's channel at Off Planet Media, and it's called Walking in LA, Emily Moyer, Chris, and Cherie Gio. So if you want to check that out, check that out. But we had a lot of fun with Emily. My point is that it's interesting that you caught on to that, because I never caught on to that until just now, that the Cecil Hotel seems to be the center point of everything coming through this realm.
Everything
not
evil coming into
just the
this
area,
realm.
but this realm.
Yeah.
And I'm even more drawn now to go and do a ritual there. We would have to hire some security guards.
Hell yeah.
And actually, because I can't go into that space alone.
Me either.
Physically alone.
No,
because there's crackheads and heroin addicts and all kinds of people that walk around there like that. And we'd have to get some security that we trust.
Yeah, I got chills that entire time. And I just want to say, for the record, what I think happened with Elisa Lam. And I just want to take 30 more seconds, and then we'll get back to the creepy numbers. But what happened with Elisa Lam is that after she went off this medication, she was confused, and it provided enough destabilization of her brain that she was able to be either lured using some kind of electromagnetic interference, maybe even further given drugs. Toxicology showed nothing, but something happened where I think she saw this portal. Because of this destabilization, she was able to see what people usually aren't able to see. Because Terrence McKenna used to say that ayahuasca and things like that, what they do is they destabilize the brain enough to where you can see things that you usually aren't able to see.
I think this is it. I'd have to watch the documentary to confirm, but that's Latin. And in Latin, it says, see you
next Tuesday, my good little slave.
My good little servant or good little slave.
Yeah.
And she was found in that water tower.
Yeah. And so what happened was, once she was lured to the roof, she was raped anally, because she was still intact. She had not been raped the other way, but she did have an anal prolapse on exam, which means that she probably was raped. And then forced, maybe at gunpoint, to get into the water tank naked. And then there she was left. And for a few days, she probably tread water, and then she probably slowly just, died from a combination of exhaustion and suffocation. And that's a terrible way to die. And the way that phone call sounded a hell of a lot like a guy who had been left to die in that exact same way. And I'm wondering if this is the bloodless death that I think Aleister Crowley talked about in his... Oh, I'm starting to get sick. He talked about this... somebody talked about this. Some satanic ritual book talked about this, where it's a bloodless death and that it's more holy, or it generates more power in some way because you're not spilling even a drop of their blood. But you are sacrificing them. And that's one of the ways to do it. And it's terrible. It's awful.
So the movie Deep Water.
Dark Water.
Dark Water.
Yeah.
The little girl's name is Cecil?
Mm-hmm.
Or the little boy's name?
Cecily.
Cecil, yeah.
Cecily.
There's a lot of very weird coincidences, and the thing is the movie came out before this event.
Yeah.
So...
Oh,
very, very, very
years
creepy
before the
ties
event.
there.
Yeah, many years before the event. And there's a lot of creepy ties with this, and I'm shaking talking about this because this hotel, like, I know that it's the center of everything. Like, I can feel it rattling my bones right now. I can feel it so hardcore because it's the same feeling I got when we were working on the pizza-related type of film. When we were working on that, that's the same feeling I got. You know, it's a combination of rage that they would do this to another human being, and then combined with shame for even, you know, having the genetic structure that's even similar to people, to beings who would do this. But I don't think it was human beings that did this, not by a long shot. I think this, whatever is doing this is not human, because it's the human minions that are carrying out these murders and everything, but it's something inhuman that's more like a machine that's eating.
From this summit, the pinnacle of the silenced cathedral is within your reach. Harry Raziel. With the Soul Reaver thus enhanced, no obstacle can thwart your progress, no enemy obstruct your path. But take heed, the vampires of this world can sense your intentions and will hound you in their desperate fury.
Pretty creepy. Pretty creepy indeed.
Yeah, I think some Planet Ash is like, hey, let's go. Let's unfuck this fuckery, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I can face down that type of darkness, but I face down the darkest of dark.
We might have to. Maybe that's the...
I've seen the darkest of dark. I've been pulled out of the light. I've seen divinity snuffed like a flash in the night. I've seen kids tortured and raped. Lizards preyed on their souls. I've seen beyond the ninth gate where the pizza turns cold. But if I show you these truths, would you then run and hide when you look deep inside and find this darkness inside? Or would you look to yourself to find the strength from within to put your left foot forward? Let this journey begin. Yeah. With no hesitation, pull you up from the shadows and teach you to use the working tools of this battle, and teach you to rise, facing east towards the goddess, and look deep inside you for the lesson she taught us. Now look one more time at, And now look one more time and unlock the hidden code. Let the secrets be revealed and every truth be told. Now every knee will stand and every eye shall see. We've been living in the shadows of our lost divinity.
That's really pretty.
I need to put that song out.
You
I
really
wrote those lyrics
do.
years ago. I just can't find...
In the darkness.
Yeah, I can't find a beat to go along with it. But, all right. So moving on. We have a couple more creepy ones, or should we get to 800-666 QBIT?
A few more creepy ones, and then...
All right, because
All right.
800-666 QBIT is the one that is going to shock you the most.
Yeah.
So
I want to save that one for
I'm gonna
last.
save that one for last, okay.
Yeah. I would like to take a break in about 15 minutes or so, so if we can play a couple more creepy ones...
Yeah.
And we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and talk about...
I only have a few. We used to have, as people
QBIT.
mentioned in the chat, we did a whole show about number stations
Mhm.
and number station phone numbers. But unfortunately, the number station phone numbers, I can't find the show, first of all. And second of all, the number station phone numbers are no longer
Active.
Active.
Yeah.
So here's another one. This one is 828-756-0109.
01100.
Hold on. I need you to do something. I need you to write these down. Can you? As it's going?
I can try.
Because it's binary code. Let's decode what it's saying.
Okay.
All right.
Zero one one zero 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 111001101010101001000.
All right, you want to go over?
I almost got them all.
It's okay. Let's go over it one more time, so we can get these and we can decode this binary live right here on the air.
11100110101001000.
I got it.
Give us a call back at 612-398-0600. 0001010001. You got the string?
Ooh, I got the string.
All right. Is it the second one you sent me?
Yep.
Or is it all of them?
It's the second one.
All right. So let's go open up a binary.
Convertbinary.com.
Convertbinary.com. All right. So we're doing this live in real time here. Convertbinary.com. All right. Binary to text?
Yep.
All right. So we got the numbers. Everybody's got the numbers. All right. So what we have here is... Man, all these freaking pop-ups here. All right. Hold on. Let me delete this. Make sure we got this right. All right. It's... For those of you that are keeping up, it's 011 0010001100101. I'm not going to read all that.
0110000100100011000. What does that translate to?
Death.
Death. Bum, bum, bum. That's creepy. So why is that guy dying? Why would you spend the last minutes that you're alive speaking in binary code about how you're dying? Why don't you call 911 and talk about how you're dying?
Very creepy.
It is creepy. That's really creepy.
What do you think about that?
What do you think about that, guys?
It's binary
NPCs,
code.
ASCII character code's got to do something.
Yep. Maybe it's foreshadowing 2021.
Oh, yeah. Danielle pointed out, I forgot about that fact. Aleister Crowley channeled an alien. What was the alien's name?
His name was Lam.
Uh-huh. Lam. Not Lamb. And Elisa Lam's last name spelled Lam. That is weird. I think maybe...
This was the being that Crowley summoned here. Lam. That's also very, very interesting coincidence Desiree. I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah, I forgot about
Emily
that.
was talking about how Crowley stayed there. Now we have Elisa Lam.
Yep.
The Lam Elisa tests for the TB.
There's just so many weird.
We went down to Egypt, of course, many of you know. I'm going to try to pull up a picture here. I think I can really quick on my Facebook. We went down to the subterranean chamber, and that is supposedly where Crowley also went to. I also read that Socrates was initiated in the subterranean chamber of the Great Pyramid as well, prior to his journey.
So was Alexander the Great?
Alexander the Great. Very few have been in the subterranean chamber and performed rituals in the way that we did, or different rituals, but very few have been able to perform rituals in the subterranean chamber of the Great Pyramid. And something comes over you when you're there. Something changes within you. And Facebook will not let me go through these pictures here, so I'm going to try another route here. Albums. I guess this would be under mobile uploads. I've got so many pictures here. I've got this one, for example, that I just want to show off because it's so cute.
Aww.
This is Gia with angel,
Thank you.
crystal angel wings.
That is very cute.
The crystal twin. Yeah.
Aww.
All right. So let me find this picture because you're going to see when we get to this picture here, and I don't even see it on my. I don't know what's going on. I can't find it. Do you have the picture of the subterranean chamber by any chance?
One of ours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be right on the front of my Facebook, but maybe timeline photos. We have a lot of our cats.
Yes, we have a lot of cat pictures. It's pretty funny.
Here we go. Inside of the subterranean chamber. Cherie has one very similar to this. I don't know if you have yours handy, but something changes inside of you when you're in the subterranean chamber. And
here it is.
As a matter of fact, yeah, send it to me real quick and I can put it up on the screen. As a matter of fact, when we went to the Queen's chamber, there's a dialogue that Cherie and I are having in the Queen's chamber. Some of you might have seen that footage. And we are in the tunnel about to go into getting out of the Queen's chamber, actually. And Cherie saying, what did you say in that video?
Talking about Terrence McKenna? Or
No, about Crowley.
Oh, that Crowley, I don't remember.
You said, Crowley didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Oh yeah, Crowley had no idea what the hell he was doing. He was just some guy, that thought he was doing a lot, but really he didn't know how to wake this place up. We know how to wake this place up because we are who we are, but Crowley was just an idiot.
So we're having a lot of connections here that I'm making here on this show, connecting us and what we did to Crowley, to undoing what Crowley did, now leading us back to Lam, now leading us back to the Cecil Hotel. I mean, the more that I get into the show, the more that I realize we probably we undid a lot of what he did in the pyramid, but maybe there's more. There's more to the sequence.
Right.
And I need to verify what Emily was saying, but if that's true, then yeah, of course he opened up a portal there.
Yeah.
And that portal will have to be closed sooner than later.
I am 99% sure he opened up a portal there because the evidence speaks for itself. You have all of these murders, all of these suicides, all of these terrible, horrible things have happened.
Oh, yeah. The
really
manager said somebody has died in every one of those rooms there.
Almost every one of those rooms. There's like 2 or 3 that haven't, but for the most part, people have died in every single room in that hotel. There is something there that just came in the last 100 to 120 years.
So here's something interesting too.
Timeline adds up.
We stopped in Rome first because it costs the same to go from here to Rome and then to Egypt. And so we thought, hey, we can spend a couple days in Rome.
Yeah.
Cherie's never been to Rome. We're walking out of the Temple of Venus, who is Isis in the Roman. And we're walking out and we're watching this street artist making something. And I wish I would have taken my camera out and filmed it as he was doing it. But I don't know, I felt like it was a sacred moment and I didn't want to film it. So we're watching him and he is painting this, which is hanging right behind me right there. And so this was April 19th before we even made it into Egypt. And we asked him, what are you doing? And he said, I don't know, I just saw a vision. And I'm just writing it up. And I said, okay, well, how much do you want for it? And I don't remember what he asked for it, but I was like, we'll take it. We'll take it. But how coincidental is that we were on our way to Egypt and this guy, this street performer, just happens to be spray painting this image right here before we head out there. What do you think, Mrs. Gio?
I think it's very interesting how all this is played out. It's not coincidence. It can't be coincidence. There's too many things all lining up with each other for it to be coincidence. Every time I even think about that hotel, I get chills. I mean, every time it even enters my mind, I get this nauseating kind of feeling. Like I know it's like something you dread, like when you were a kid and you knew that after school you were going to have to go to the doctor and get shots. And you didn't want to get shots. You really didn't want to. But you knew that you had to and that there was nothing you were going to be able to do to get around it. In order to go home, you have to do this. And that sometimes you have to do things that you have to do. And it's not fun and it's not safe, but you have to do them in order to get home.
Very true. I'd like to know what you guys and gals think of that out there. Do you think there's a portal that needs to be closed?
What do you guys think?
This is a pretty big undertaking.
We value you guys' input a whole lot, as much as we do each other's almost. So, what do you guys think? Do we need to reprogram the matrix? So why don't we take a quick break? When we come back, we'll talk about 666 QBIT.
I opened up the show with my darkness, or I call it Face to Shadows now, so I don't want to play that again. I guess we can play Speak No Truth.
Yeah, I was about to say Speak No Truth.
Okay.
What did you do?
I went downstairs. I crept up into the barn. I was so scared to look inside, but I had to.
What did you see, Clarice? What did you see?
Lambs. They were screaming.
Lambs.
They were slaughtering the spring lambs?
They were slaughtering the spring. Holy shit, I didn't even think about that. Still waiting on Mrs. Gio to return, but she made a very interesting comment. She said everybody at the Cecil, they're all lambs. They're all lambs waiting to be sacrificed. They're all lambs waiting to be inhabited by these beings. I am under the mindset that this vacation is allowing these beings to cross over and inhabit containers. Now, I can't say that for fact, but that's my working hypothesis at the time. And now that we're making all these connections, portals opening, lamb here, maybe this was in the name of a being. Maybe this was the name of a race. Maybe this was the name of a race of beings. Yep. Viruses in the Matrix that seek to inhabit non-player character bodies. And they've all become lambs.
Like lambs to the slaughter. And then, what made me think that is in Silence of the Lambs when she's talking about that, and this is in that clip, she's like, I opened the door for them to run out, but they wouldn't run. They wouldn't run. There has been tens of millions of dollars spent to try to help the people of Skid Row get a better life, to do better for themselves, to get their GEDs, to get better jobs, to get health care, all these things. And it seems like what's happened is they have not they've either been doing it wrong, because they're morons that are administering all of this wrong, and then these people aren't getting the help they need, or the people that they're helping, they're not supposed to help and make better. They're supposed to help prepare them for sacrifice. The same way in ancient cultures that you see the Aztecs, they used to treat the prisoners that they were going to sacrifice like, I mean, they weren't treated well, but they were treated with respect because they were, the people that they were going to be sacrificed. I mean, they were the food for the gods. So of course, they were relatively nice, and they didn't bruise them up or beat them or anything like that. However, they did sacrifice them. They took care of them to the extent that they fed them and clothed them and everything until it was time to take them up to that pyramid and cut their head off. But they did get their heads cut off.
They got a stimulus check first.
They got their stimulus check first.
Very creepy.
Very, very.
We're going to call one more number, then after that we're going to call 800-666 QBIT. You know what? I didn't even tell you what number we're calling. My apologies.
I was about to say.
This number is 630-296. I'm sorry, 630-269-7536. Maybe they won't pick up.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. The number you dialed has been changed, disconnected, or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again. Announcement 2, switch to 0-3.
Now that is very odd. Because I just called this number yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah, and it was
unless
working.
I mistyped it, it should be an active phone number. I literally just called this yesterday.
I know. I was there. You tested all of them. That's really bizarre because, it appears that it isn't just me who was affected. There were other people whose phones started green screening and just not turning on.
I'm going to call this from my cell phone number.
After researching the Elisa Lam thing. Yeah, and we're going to get into why that's relevant here in a second, guys, because I think all of this is connected. All of the fact that
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
Nope. Very strange.
That is very, very
strange
weird.
Indeed.
Because we're having multiple accounts now of phones and stuff green screening, and now, along with what happened with my other laptop, that first one. There's something definitely strange going on, and I think it does go to what we're going to be talking about once we get to the real.
Well, we're about to call 1-800-666-QBIT. You can see it on the screen just as it is.
All right.
So brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the creepiest one of all. A QBIT. What is a QBIT?
A QBIT is
an ancient measurement.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
An ancient measurement of length based on the distance from the elbow to the middle finger. It's primarily associated with Sumerians, Egyptians, and Israelites. It's found in the Bible regarding Noah's Ark, the Ark of the Covenant, the Tabernacle, Solomon's Temple, but it also may refer to QUBIT, a quantum bit or qubit, sometimes QBIT, is a unit of quantum information.
Quantum information.
Quantum information.
Now, if we reference the Bible, and he measured, this is Revelation 21:17, and he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. Now, we're talking about quantum computers here. We're talking about tapping into other dimensions. We're talking about systems that tap into other dimensions on a quantum level. And we're also talking about consciousness. Let's hear where this number takes us.
Thank you for calling Pfizer Pharmaceutical Customer Service. Our office is currently closed. Please call us during our regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please note, if you've received an email or a call stating your vaccine has experienced a temperature excursion for the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, or need to report an adverse reaction, please contact medical information at 800-438-1985 or press 2 to be transferred. If you are calling to place an emergency order for a life-saving product, or if you have an urgent inquiry regarding a Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine order, please contact 269-388-7548 or press 1 to be transferred to our after-hours service. Thank you. The Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine is also known as Comirnaty. Comirnaty is FDA approved for ages 16 years and up. Comirnaty has the same formulation as Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, and the products can be used interchangeably. See conditions of use and additional information at www.cvdvaccine.com. That is www.cvdvaccine.com.
Good morning, Pfizer Corporation. Can I help you?
Good morning. We are having a problem with one of our...
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Can I help you?
Yes, we are having a problem here at the CVS pharmacy with one of our batches. We were wondering if you can help.
And your name, sir?
My name is Mike.
And one moment. And Mike, what's your phone number?
It is, let me find the corporate number for you.
Is that a number where they can call you back at?
Yeah, it's 1-800-746-7287.
And that was 1-800-746-7287?
Yes. And
Is there an extension?
I'm sorry?
Is there an extension to your number?
Yeah, it's extension 6613666.
And what is going on with your batch?
Well, we have administered a few batches, and we've been having a lot of adverse effect reports, and it's something that we feel that we need to address with somebody and take it very seriously.
Do you have a batch number?
Batch number is 6258573.
I'm sorry, 6258573?
Yes.
All right. Okay, let me get a hold of my on-call person. I'll have him give you a call shortly.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Once again, that number was 1-800-666-QBIT.
Can you read that Revelation quote again about how many qubits that was. The angel measured the wall using human measurement.
And he measured the wall, and it was 144 qubits by the human measurement that the angel was using.
So this was from 2018, November 9th, 2018, 11/9/2018. Google should go through several doublings of qubits over the next 5 years. Next Big Future believes Google has built and is currently testing a 144 qubit system. Usually quantum computers are developed in the lab and worked on for 1 year or more before they are officially announced.
Can you shoot me that article?
Yes, I already did.
Okay.
It has previously been stated by IBM and Google that the doubling time for qubits for current noisy superconducting chips is every 7 to 9 months. The limiting factor is not designing and creating superconducting chips. The limiting resource the team needed to test and validate a larger chip design and the resulting chips with more qubits. So, interesting. 144 qubits. So let's go into one other thing that I found.
I'm in awe. I called the number before, but I never pushed an extension. There was some speculation if the number was real or not. Lucky is the super researcher, and she said, let's find out who this number belongs to. But we pressed the extension, and we spoke to a live person at Geyser.
Geyser Pharmaceuticals.
Geyser Pharmaceuticals. Because you get what you get stuck with.
Okay, I almost had it to where I wasn't going to laugh.
You can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make it up.
Wow.
1-800-666-QBIT.
Okay, so...
And Google is now creating a 144 qubit quantum computer.
Like in the book of Revelation, how it describes heaven. So I think it's pretty clear, what this is, because it's pretty clear that the Yahweh virus has mutated and is now called Google. It's become its purest form of itself that we can apprehend, in our minds, that we can see with our own eyes.
All right, so forgive the source here, but I just Googled this really quick because I wanted to get something on my screen. First thing that came up is Snopes. But this is about the claim that Microsoft owns a patent 666 about implantable microchips. Now, of course, they're going to put their own spin on it, but they say mostly false. Mostly false.
Mostly false.
The reason is Microsoft published a patent for a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Cryptocurrency system using body activity data.
They want you to mine
That
Bitcoin.
is a microchip that is implanted in the human skin. The patent for that is W02-02-00-60606A1. Now, people are running around saying that it's patent 666, but in actual fact, there's a long string of numbers that goes along with it. But there is still 666 inside of the patent ID for the cryptocurrency system using body activity data. They can't even deny it.
No, they really can't.
When we are using Snopes as a reference, that means because they can't deny it. Please go on.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me how all of this quantum stuff is mixing in with the stuff about Geyser Pharmaceuticals and the vacations, and then that's all also mixing in with the portals, that need to be shut, and then that's all mixing in also. I mean, my mind is about to explode here because there's just too many interwoven aspects of things here. There's a lot that I feel like I shouldn't say on air, mission related, and that we'll need to talk about off air, but that I didn't realize until now. So, where do you want to take it? Because
I think that is the scariest number that's out there.
That is the scariest number that's out there.
1-800-666 QBIT.
Yeah.
The Matrix has a funny way of revealing itself. And as we've said before, there were many numbers that we've come across. The repeating numbers of 1111, many of you are familiar with that. The repeating codes of 13 and 33, and we're seeing 13 and 33 literally all over the place. And many more. So I think this is the Matrix code just revealed. Let those who have eyes see. Let those who have ears hear. Let those who are sheep wear a mask and take a vacation.
Yep. Interesting. So
it is very interesting. It's shocking. It's so you know me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm never at a loss for words.
Yeah. No,
but I am at a loss for words at this point.
Right now,
and how all this is adding up.
So here's another thing. You put in 666-QBIT in Google, and somewhere down there you're going to see high temperature operation of a silicon qubit, and it talks about elevated temperatures and how they want to create stuff that can withstand really super, super hot temperatures, because the more quantum you go with data and in the technology, the hotter it's going to get, because the faster something has to spin, which means you're going to have a lot more kinetic energy that you're going to have to disperse in order to keep something operating, and that's going to create a lot of heat. And so they're trying to create silicon and other elements that can withstand that much heat. And from what it's talking about, it seems a lot like they're talking about hell itself, and how this, if you were explaining this process to somebody that has no idea what a computer is living in ancient times, or is having a acid trip, basically, which is what John the Revelator was doing. He was high on the island of Patmos. He was getting high off of the local vegetation, because that was all that was around for him to eat. And because he was basically on a prisoner island. It was just an abandoned island. They would just throw people on and leave him there. And he was there for like 7 years. And in those years that he was on Patmos, he had these revelations.
And it's I just want to note that on Patmos, it's a very desolate island. I think we went to Patmos, did we not?
We almost did. We passed by it on the boat.
I've been before.
Yeah.
And at that time, the main thing to eat there were psychedelic plants and mushrooms. There was not very much to eat other than fish. So he was eating a lot of psychedelic plants and mushrooms.
Right. And so a guy that has no idea what any of this is and would be like just completely blown away by a laptop, for instance, it would sound like hell. If somebody's talking about how hot, a superconducting, one of those like CERN, how hot that gets, or how cold they have to make the outside ring get in order to withstand the heat, and all of these processes that are very scientific and very technological. It sounds like heaven versus hell. It sounds like demons and angels and all kinds of weirdness, because this looks like sorcery to them. This looks like sorcery. Something bubbling up whenever you pour it. Carbonation alone.
I'd like to address something in the chat real quick. Somebody said, according to Wikipedia, which is always the greatest source to go to, as you heard in our Don't Go Down the Rabbit Hole, and critical thinking is a danger to the fight against misinformation episode that we did. The 666 is not a working area code. It's not. But the phone number is not a 666 area code. The phone number is 1-800.
1-800-666
QBIT.
QBIT. Which is actually very easy to get.
It takes you directly.
But takes you directly.
To Geyser.
To Geyser Pharmaceuticals.
Geyser Pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just happened to Google this, and I Googled 666 QBIT, and this book, QBIT Theta Wave, pops up. And this is totally off the cuff, and I just happened to stumble across this randomly. Chapter 1. Nikola Tesla, the famous scientist, died in the Hotel New Yorker in 1943. In 1943, the Hotel New Yorker was powered by 2 giant coal-fired steam boilers that produced DC current. In fact, the Hotel New Yorker powered the whole Manhattan garment district. QBIT is a speculation as to why the man who invented the alternating current died in a hotel powered by direct current. Most of Nikola Tesla's artifacts were seized by the alien property custodian, although at the time of his death, he was a naturalized American citizen. This novel speculates as to what happened to those artifacts. Among the artifacts were a series of articles known as the Tesla Files. I won't go too much further into this because I'm going to skip to a couple of pages later. But this all once again ties into the man sitting right behind me, whose picture I have personally autographed right behind me. And yes, I am very proud of this picture. And so you're going to hear me talking about this picture many, many, many times because it was an honor to get a personalized autograph.
That was really cool.
It was signed to Chris and Cherie. I think that I am honored by that. We also got Liberal Tears personalized and signed to us by his son. But anyways, as we know, who was the man that went and got all of Nikola Tesla's research during this? I don't know if this is accurate. The alien no, it is accurate. I take that back. It is totally accurate. The alien property custodian, because by alien they mean alien to the United States.
Naturalized,
Who was the man that did it?
Was it John Trump?
John Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump's uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Was responsible for going and getting all of Nikola Tesla's research. So we have this book here. Let's see if we can find a date of publishing, 2018.
Wow.
Same date we went and reset the matrix. QBIT Theta Wave. Theta wave. I know the delta wave is the state of sleep. And so people make the joke, the delta wave, because you have to be asleep to believe it. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not using keywords.
Yeah.
But interesting nonetheless that here, along with this QBIT situation, pops up this novel that specifically opens up with Nikola Tesla, ties it into Trump, through John Trump, who was his uncle. And Trump used to always talk about how his uncle taught him so much about energy, And John and Donald Trump's middle name is John, named after his uncle, who was responsible for taking Nikola Tesla's research and trying to figure out if there was any viable use to it or not. As you can see, the chip can be placed under the skin at birth. It can remain there until death. The size is minimal, only 2 millimeters wide. With this in place, we can monitor every American citizen. We can provide 24/7 worldwide protection. Hump, the general grunted in reply. No, Justice. Not on my watch. Sir, we are not monitoring them to pry into their private lives. We are simply trying to protect them. Sooner or later, 24/7 identification will happen, and it's going to happen all over the world. And lo and behold, the mark of the beast was seen on their forehead, and its number was 666, the mathematician remarked, quoting the Bible. Again, no, the general firmly replied. He gave a piercing look at the mathematician before turning to Blake. And let me give you a different reason. The Declaration of Independence, one thing for sure, is justice. We will not go down the path of Orwellian mass surveillance. George Orwell was a renowned writer who described situations, ideas, etc. What about Genesis? The mathematician asked. He knew of the existence of the large, huge information system. Genesis was developed by DARPA as an ultra-large, all-source information repository. What happened to it? It's right here at Fort Meade, sort of, Richard answered him. The other half, Director Scapello, took it away to Langley. Professor Andrew arched his eyebrows and coughed. I beg your pardon, Richard? Richard turned to the general with an inquiring look, a half nod answering him. The entire world's population, the Hive theory, the biology said, throwing another remark on the table. The Hive what? Richards asked, gasping in surprise. The Hive theory, Richards. The biologist began explaining. Biologist, I don't know why I can't read today. Social networking and the hive mind. Insects are the most successful species on the planet. They have been around before the dinosaurs, and according to research in the aftermath of a nuclear war, the ants will inherit the earth. The ants will inherit the earth. And if you're familiar with our shows, you go back to the show that I've referenced so many times before. What is the Aten? A-T-E-N. Go to our YouTube channel and look it up. And I talk about seeing these ant beings manifested within the Matrix, and they were the triple goddesses, and they spoke in a way to where it was three of them, one being, but three individual beings speaking one word at a time, moving backwards and forwards like that. And as you said on the previous show, where we were talking about the Yahweh virus, that's the way that they were described by the, I don't remember who you said it was, the Nordics or the medieval kings. The Arthurian legends speak of the triple goddess as she was kind of a Germanic goddess, but then she was brought to the Britons from Germania when the Romans kind of pushed them to the far reaches of the Roman Empire, and they went to Britain, and they said to speak the fates of kings. In other words, if a king was really screwing up, like he was more focused on his own interests rather than the interests of his people. If he was putting people to death for witchcraft, just for regular witchcraft, not even for black witchcraft or for hurting anybody with it, but just practicing it, that was offensive to them because they stood as the symbol of magic in the ancient world. They were the symbol of the female in all of her forms, which was the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Female incarnate would be that triple goddess entity, and so that is the female of Earth. It's kind of like an Earth goddess type of entity. And when I saw it in the system, it was a holographic projection, the feminine aspect of the Sophia system itself.
Yep, exactly.
Whereas the Aten was the male aspect of the Sophia system itself.
That is so true.
As above, so below.
That's right.
The insects are successful due to their hive mentality. Every single insect is somehow connected to the hive and its queen. The queen controls the hive. Let me repeat that. The queen controls the hive.
Mm-hmm.
And her subjects will follow her mind so as to speak. The individuals have given tasks, and they fulfill this task as the reason for their existence.
Mm-hmm.
We can see some of the trends on social networking, though not in the strictest sense. Each individual is logged into the social network. People share their mind through this network. We have multiple researchers going on as we speak, some in Harvard, others in Cambridge, others at MIT. There's nothing forthcoming, but the prospects look promising. Social networking operates on the same platform as the Hive theory. Combine this with quantum computing, and we might have a real chance at monitoring everyone on the planet, provided that the population stays on the grid, Blake remarked. If they choose to be off-grid, all their computer power in the world will come to nothing. And this brings us back to the forced surveillance, or going down the Orwellian road, he sneered. The general thumped his fist on the table, which neither I nor the president will not trudge upon. For now, Blake muttered under his breath. It earned the wrath of the general. For as long as I am here, justice, he blasted, and I am still here. When and if I retire, I hope that someone here will respect the privacy of the lonely, dying man. We should promote a movie. It was a note. He chose an awkward moment to place his suggestion. The general was... And I guess that's where the book no longer wants to load.
Yeah, it wants you to buy it after that point. Yeah, it usually will give you a couple pages to reel you in, and then it wants you to buy the ebook. So that's really interesting. You know what some of that reminds me of? For some reason, I just got reminded of...
I'm going to have to buy this book.
The Game is Life.
The Game is Life.
Life is a Game. It reminds me of that because in this book series, there's life outside of this matrix. And the Matrix is actually a game that is played by children of all people. And the only people outside that are allowed to play it are children. And it's replaced school in the reality outside of the Matrix. And they go into the Matrix to play the game in order to build experience and then what in life, life experience. And they figure if they put people in when they're starting at 5 years old and starting as like a bee or a dog or a cat, moving your way up the food chain, eventually making it to be a human being inside of the Matrix. When you're a teenager in the real world, when in this book, there's a whole life outside in the real world that includes, militarization. There's whole teams of these teenagers that are pretty much like they're in the military, and they live in a militarized kind of environment. And I think that's kind of the place where we come from too, is I think the majority of the people listening are programmers. And what I mean by programmers is this is an artificial reality that we're in, and we are the ones that know how to change it. And they used to be called magic, but I think it's just called doing what you do. It's just programming.
The Game of Life book is interesting because I've never read it, but Cherie is the reader.
I'm the reader of all things.
Yeah, she relays to me, and she writes everything too. I just speak and she writes. It's always been like that since the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
But in the Game of Life, it talks about how this is a computer system, and people jump in, and then they've decided to monetize the game by allowing others outside to be able to view the lives and adventures of people who are playing the game. Now, it gets even stranger because as we were on our way to Egypt, another book was released, and Cherie started reading the book as we were on our way to Egypt on the airplane. In this book, they decide to go to the pyramid to reset the Matrix. Let me repeat that. In this book, they decide to go to the pyramid to reset the Matrix. As we were on our way to the pyramid, Cherie was reading this and saying, this is insane. They reset the Matrix, and then they find out later in the next book that comes out that there is an author who is writing a book about the same story that they're living. I kid you not. This is a book by a guy named Terry Schott.
Uh-huh.
Now, we thought that this guy didn't exist, but in actual fact, Terry was watching our Facebook live streams as we were in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
The book goes on to say that once they realize that there's an author who has been writing the story of their journey, they try to contact the author, and the author will not get in contact with them.
Just ignores them.
And they wind up going to his house and forcing him to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Terry, we know for sure, was watching our live streams. I have reached out to him multiple times. He has refused to talk to us. He says, the little bit of conversation that I've been able to have with him, these are just made-up stories, they're made-up books, and that's it. And I'm telling him, well, why is it that you have been writing our story.
Yeah.
And we're finding out that you're writing our story as we are going and doing the events of the stories you have written while we're reading
on the plane.
on the plane and reading about the stories that you have written. There's something going on here, whether you understand this consciously or not. He will not come on the show. He will not write me back. And I told him, Terry, do we need to come to your house, like in the book? And do we need to start banging on your door? Because we need to talk to you. Because obviously you have tapped into something, whether you realize it or not.
Maybe he has information that you need.
Yeah.
I know. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't read the book, so I don't know.
Well, maybe he has information that you need about what we were talking about with when we were at that place where I was going to get that thing done. And then you said, anyway, we'll talk about it after the show.
Oh, passing the codes without leaving the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
there's something.
There's one person I feel I can trust on the other side. I think this is going to be for our Patreon section.
Okay.
So, yeah. I don't know how much of it I'm going to cut for the Patreon section. But let me say this, though. Something that has been helping people a great deal has been AyaLife, ayalife.com. And the coupon code is expiring in the next couple of days. The buy one, get one free. It's BTV Tribe. So what you want to do is you want to go to the single bottle, put 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in your shopping carts. You can put 10, for example. Go here and put in BTV Tribe at the checkout. I'm going to remove all these here. Actually, I'm just going to remove this here completely. And put BTV Tribe. Get the buy one, get one free. It's 99% pure CBD infused with Aya. And the ayahuasca has boosted things up to where nobody who has been using AyaLife regularly has been negatively impacted. Their health has been negatively impacted by the situations that we're in. As a matter of fact, when this whole zombie virus came out, we read a report that said that people are dying due to cytokine storms or cytokine storms. And what happens is when you have a virus in you, your body will start to try to fight it off. But it fights it off so much that your immune system starts to overreact and starts to attack itself. Now, this is coming from the National Institute of Health. We found another article from the National Institute of Health saying that CBD prevents cytokine storms. And I literally will drink a quarter bottle of this at a time whenever I'm feeling in the least bit ill. And we've sent this to other people who have been experiencing symptoms, just feeling, just in any way, but particularly symptoms of the zombie virus. And they have reported amazing, amazing results. I don't want to go through the emails because we've gone through so many emails in the past. And I don't even have them up on my screen right now. But do you remember any of the most recent reviews? Because we've received so many.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful
the one
reviews.
about Shadow Kitty is one of my favorites. That one happened quite a while ago, though. Let me pull up the most recent one. Oh, there was one whose father has his health has declined just naturally. Everyone's health declines. That's just how existing works. You come, you live a long, healthy life, and then eventually, your health slows down, and you age, and your health starts to deteriorate. And he just, he was not very active anymore, and he was starting to kind of, lose his pep, and his face was starting to become kind of gray, and he's just really slowing down. Then he got cancer, and he had, I think it was, I believe it was liver cancer. And, they basically said, he's going to have all these treatments in order to get rid of the cancer. But he can beat this, and he actually started beating it. And he didn't have a whole lot of negative side effects of the chemo and radiation. And his son, since day one, from the day he was diagnosed, gave him ILife. And he did not lose an enormous amount of weight. He lost a few pounds, but he didn't lose an enormous amount of weight. And this is a 70 or 80-year-old man. I think it was an 80-year-old man who's having chemotherapy and radiation for liver cancer. And he doesn't lose a whole lot of weight, doesn't get real sick, and he beats the cancer in, I think, 8 months.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Now, we can't say that it was ILife that did it.
No, we can't. We literally can't.
We literally can't say it. However, we can tell you this for sure, that he went through that daunting process of chemotherapy and felt pretty good for all intents and purposes, considering the circumstances. And this boosted things so much. Yeah. Whenever I'm feeling bad, I'll drink a quarter bottle. It's gotten to that point where I'm just drinking a quarter bottle.
Yeah, me too.
And it helps with inflammation. People were asking, does it help with muscle spasms and things like that? Cherie has muscle spasms in her back all the time.
Oh, it's the only thing I can take for
It's the only thing she can take because she's taken so many NSAIDs in her life that it's basically killed the kidneys and the liver.
I can't take NSAIDs.
And she cannot. The doctors gave her a shot of Toradol.
I ended up having to go to the ER.
And she had to go to the ER literally immediately, straight from the doctor to the ER to get that. To
get it flushed out of me.
Because, and they told her, you cannot take this ever again. You cannot take NSAIDs ever again.
No.
Her pain management doctor gave this to her husband, and it worked so well for her husband. She's a pain management doctor. She can give him whatever. It worked so well that she was literally taking the flyers that we gave her. We gave her one flyer, and she was making photocopies and leaving them at her office and giving them to her patients.
Yeah.
And a lot of our customer base is based on their patients. I gave some to my dentist, and my dentist freaking loves it. He called me personally on a Sunday, and he said, hey, I just wanted to say thank you for the gift that you gave me. I've been using it, and I've never seen anything work like this ever. He said, I feel great. He was having a few issues with his back and lower back, and he said, I feel great. And I was able to tell when he was working on me and did the implants. And so I said, let me introduce you to this. And he said, I'd like to start offering this to my patients. And I said, well, that's fantastic. I'll be more than happy to bring you several flyers and give them a really great coupon, because you went above and beyond for me. But I got a personal call from the dentist himself, not the staff, but the dentist himself, saying thank you. So, I mean, that's just one of many, many, many testimonials that we received.
As far as muscle spasms, I can tell you from experience, I can't take muscle relaxers either, because I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and my joints are so lax that if I take muscle relaxers, it's going to pop my joints out more. And so for muscle spasms, it is the only thing I can take, as you know, along with the anti-inflammatory. It's the only thing I can take for muscle spasms too, and it works for that as well. It's just great.
Somebody said BTV Tribe didn't go through. Use all lowercase.
All lowercase
in the checkouts,
and be sure to put 2 bottles in the cart.
You need to put 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 bottles in the cart.
Multiples of 2,
and the single bottles. And multiples of 2.
Yeah.
And then at the checkout, it will give you the 50% off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just the way the system works. I wish we can do it to where you just put 1 bottle and then it gives you another bottle.
Automatically,
but you have to put 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. The most touching, and this has happened in multiple cases. One review that we got, the person's grandmother was in hospice, gone. She didn't even move. Yeah. He started giving her ILife in her mouth. And he came back a few days later after giving it to her for a few days, and she was up playing cards with the hospice nurses, and she was lucid again. Another one, grandma was also starting to deteriorate, not deteriorate, but slow down.
Yeah.
She wasn't gardening, she wasn't doing anything like that. Gave her the ILife, grandma's back to gardening and doing everything like that again. I mean, I didn't realize the impact that this would have on people's lives. And as I said, time is our most precious commodity. And, you know, in the first case, grandma wound up passing shortly after that, but it gave him those few extra moments with her that he wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And
right.
it was incredible to hear stuff like this. And people are just reporting. I mean, we've had multiple reviews like that. And then Shadowcat. Shadowcat was dying. And she started taking Eye of Life, and Shadowcat's back to running around like a kitten again.
Right.
And we just sent, we don't like to talk about this, but the donations that we get here on the Super Chat, they go to, we pay it forward. We keep very little of the donations. They go to help people. There were 2 people in particular, and they're in the chat room right now, but I'm not going to name their names. But they both have situations that they're dealing with. One whose husband has lung cancer, and we sent them a couple of bottles to them, and another couple of bottles to somebody else. And they said, thank you so much, the generosity. And I said, no, look, it's not coming from me and Tree. It's coming from the entire BTV tribe out there. Joker Smiles, especially. Joker Smiles. I see that Joker Smiles, you're placing an order. So if you can put Joker Smiles in the name of the order, or something to let us know that's your order, I want to send you a couple of extra bottles on us, because you are in the chat all the time and contributing through Super Chat all the time, and it's the least that we can do for you, man. I want to do that. I want to do that for you. So if there's some way, or maybe you can email us orders@ialife.com and let us know, hey, this is my order, and I will contact the shipping department and make sure they put a couple of extras in there for you, because you've shown us so much love. We want to return that love.
Right.
But the case of Shadowcat too, that was also something done by the BTV tribe. So you guys and gals out there are contributing so much, and you don't even realize the energy that's flowing out, and the change that it's making in people's lives, not just from the people that are ordering it, but also you giving us the ability to say, hey, we have extra resources here, so we can allocate them out this way and help others that otherwise can't get help. So, and again, the price too, I mean, 1,000 milligrams of pure 99% CBD for $59 is a ridiculous price. A ridiculously low price, because most people are selling them $100, $150, and it's crude CBD oil that is like I don't want to go into the whole thing, but let me just put it like this: the crude CBD oil that you get out there, it's not refined, and so it varies by bottle. And I've got a good friend, and he offered me some of the crude CBD oil that you can find all over the place, and I said, how can you make sure the bottles are consistent? And he says, well, they're kind of consistent, you know, they vary bottle to bottle. With our process, every single bottle has 500 milligrams of 99% pure CBD, because we extract it and then put it back in there, and it tastes great. It doesn't taste like grass either. I don't want to make this a whole big plug on Eye of Life, but I just want to say thank you to everybody, not just the Eye of Life customers, not just the Patreons out there, but all you who are contributing Super Chats. Joker Smiles, thank you so much. I'll add my name to the note option. Perfect. Okay, good. I am going to email right now, and forgive me for doing this on air, ladies and gentlemen, but I want to make sure that this goes through.
Oh, Bastep's on me. And I love you, Bastep, but you are heavy. Yes, you're heavy. Did you guys hear that?
Okay, I just emailed our shipping department and let them know to include those couple of extra bottles for you, brother, because thank you. Like I said, I mean, sometimes you pass through and you don't even watch the show, and you're like, hey, here's some love for you. So thank you. And if you don't want to keep them for yourself, pay it forward and give it to somebody that might need it. So the energy is just so loving. It is so loving. And when I take a look at ayalife.com is the website, one more time, ayalife.com, and the coupon code is BTV Tribe, all lowercase. But when I take a look around at the BTV Tribe and the love that is just circulating through all of this, sometimes we have to do shows where we're just talking about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And it's not a very pleasant vibe, but it's real, because we have to talk about what's going on in the world. But then we take a look at the other side of the coin here. the BTV tribe, and there's so much love here that it almost makes all the problems of the world irrelevant, in my humble opinion. I can't thank you guys and gals enough.
Me too.
I can't thank you enough. So, there was a lot of juicy content in the last hour here that's probably going to be cut out of YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's 3 hours and 33 minutes, just about. We're at 3 hours and 29 minutes. So if you're catching the YouTube version, head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/BTV Tribe. Check out Aya Life as well, ayalife.com. That's how you support the show. And ultimately, you're missing a lot of content if you're not on the Patreon. It's only $3 a month because it's not about money. It's about getting the message out there and getting it uncensored. Patreon takes 25% of everything that comes in. They take a lot of fees. I didn't realize how many fees fucking Patreon takes.
Yeah.
But like I said, it doesn't matter. And we're still going to keep it at $3 minimum. Some people do 10. Some people do 20. Some people do 50.
Because we need to put it out there.
Yeah.
We need to have a platform to put it out there where we aren't as censored, and we can really talk to you guys and really get into the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about. And that's just not possible with the alternative. So.
Right. So anything from the little twin?
Just that I love you guys, and I look forward to the show about the octopi.
We'll do that next. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
Kiss the one you love right now. You never know when the last time is going to be. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening. Mrs. Gio, I hope you get to feeling better.
Oh, I'm good.
I'll give you a nice massage. How about that?
Oh, please. Thank you. That sounds amazing. Okay. All right. I love
I'll
this
give you a nice massage and caress the body up and down and give you lots of love and energetic healing.
Ooh, okay. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with those new crystals we got today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
We took her to the crystal store today. Oh, Debbie, thank you so much for the love.
Oh, thank you, Debbie.
Much love.
Oh, we love you guys.
Yeah, I know. I know I showed this picture earlier, but I think it's really cute. So I'm gonna put this on the screen real quick.
Aw.
That's at the crystal store.
Do you know what's funny is in that room? After about 5 or 10 minutes, I noticed my back didn't hurt at all anymore.
Yeah.
And like I was walking around, and I usually, after about 5-10 minutes, maybe 15, my back's killing me. I'm ready to sit down somewhere. I didn't need to sit down at all in that room, and it was just in that room. It's just like this vortex of no discomfort.
Oh,
it's amazing.
These were small crystals.
These were
compared
tiny
to the rest of the stuff that's in that
room.
room.
The one right behind it.
And the owner doesn't usually let people back there, but I know him, and he said, anytime you want to come out here and meditate, come in, absorb all this energy from all these crystals, and it's very, very, very healing. So
it really, really was. Just the couple minutes we were in there, it was amazing how different it felt. So I'm really glad we include a crystal with every order of Aya Life as well, and now I really understand. There's definitely something to the healing properties of crystals, not just the data retention and energetic, properties themselves. So
that is true.
Anyway,
you're very cute in that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I really like that crystal with the wings.
Which one's cuter? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen.
I like that one better.
This one, number 1, looking up, or number 2?
I like number 1.
I think they're both adorable.
I think number 1's more cute.
Yeah.
More fairy.
You need to get Sharia biomat. I'll look into a biomat. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another super chat from Nick Bravo. Oh, Nick. Bro, you bring so much gnosis to the table, but thank you so much for that. Divok is a tulpa feeding off the people's fear. The vacation priming the person for use by the tulpa. Clyde Lewis talked about it on a show tonight. Did he really?
Oh, wow. We're going to have to listen to that.
I'm going to get in touch with Clyde. I've been on with Clyde a few times.
Yeah, we need to get back on with him.
The only thing I don't like about Clyde, it's not about Clyde himself. It's just the clear channel clock, which we used to run on GCN. And it's like 9-minute segments and then 5-minute breaks and 9 minutes. Yeah, it's hard to get a word in with Clyde.
Really is.
But I'll reach out to Clyde. We should go back on Clyde's show sometime.
Yeah, we really should.
Yeah. Kiss the one you love right now. You never know the last time it's going to be, and we'll see you even further
beyond the veil.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thanks for hanging out. Wrong
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
I'm actually surprised Clyde is talking about that.
I know.
I'm going to have to reach out to him. Yeah, we'll talk to him.